Welcome back. One of the problems was the lack of transparency in the administration of the subsidy regime. Should we retain subsidy on petroleum products?
It's a difficult question. It has economically, no. But you see, this is a country of very poor people. So some decisions have to have a social element. I would like the subsidy to go, but I'm scared about the impact it would have down there.
But you know, people argue that the poor are not enjoying this subsidy anyway.
They are. Let's not kid ourselves, they are. But they are not the big beneficiaries. The beneficiaries are all those who subverted the subsidy and made billions. I agree. But the guys below, what we like to call the common person, obviously has the benefit, because if you increase the price of petroleum products, it's going to have a ripple effect. So my economic mind tells me, do away with the subsidy. But my social mind tells me, what's the impact likely to be? So maybe the solution is that the president has announced the identification of 25 million most vulnerable Nigerians to give benefits to. So long as government is able to look after, the weaker, sector of Nigeria, the people who really, need assistance, then maybe the issue of subsidy can go. So my answer is, neither here nor there.
You're sitting on the fence.
Yeah, because I'm scared about the impact on people who really are, at this time, completely out of the system. That's my worry.
Another big problem is the insurgency in the Northeast. Yes. You have often weighed in on the military activities in the Northeast, and at one time you threatened to challenge the Armed Forces Act in court when some soldiers were court-martialed and convicted. As it turns out, some of those decisions that elicited your outcry have been reversed. Should the pardoned soldiers have been recalled and reabsorbed, or should they have just been pardoned and retired with benefits?
You've got to put them in different categories. There were those who actually, went contrary to military discipline, abandoned their post and disappeared. Those I have no sympathy for. But then those who, as a result of ill training, lack of proper command structures, didn't know what to do. Those ones I thought should have been recalled.
How do you determine those?
Because there were charges. We saw all the charges. Okay. The charges will show you. You say a man deserts. Won't he desert if he has no gun? He's going to run away. But there were those who took part in mutinies. That's a different kettle of fish. They've been recalled. Classify those whose offenses are intolerable and would be contrary to military discipline, and retain those who can be reconverted and put them back.
Another fallout from that unfortunate war is the alleged human rights abuses by the military. Yeah. Where do you draw the line between counter-insurgency and the right of the accused persons in that process?
It's a big question. It's a big conceptual question. In the court-martials I've participated in, you find civil law and military law clashing. In military law, the rule is obey the last command. As a human rights actor, I clearly would say that the constitutional framework for fair hearing and the like would apply. But a soldier would say these rules of fair hearing affect how we can conduct our warfare. So actually, interestingly, I'm being requested by the Army High Command to create a fora where relevant stakeholders, lawyers, judges, military can come together and see how we can accommodate the sharp conceptual divergence between military law and civil law. So maybe we'll have an answer after that session.
So you have served on several committees called by the federal government, one of which was the one on the 2012 flooding. NIMET has given flood warnings for some states this year, and there's a great possibility that many states may experience some measure of flooding. At that time, in 2012, the Flood Relief Committee, which you co-chaired with Alhaji Aliko Dangote, raised some money to help the displaced. You were to build houses, provide amenities and things. How did that eventually work out?
Very well. When we came, we had two tasks. The first was impact, the immediate impact. Those who had, suffered the flood were displaced, so we needed to send food and materials to them. That was the first task. Having done that, we received reports about what did we need to do. And the most common answer was to build, to rebuild. So we put together a massive rebuilding program, raised funding, I think about 20 to 30 billion, I'm not sure now, and then awarded it across the 22 affected states. So there are all kinds of projects that are ongoing now, and it's just about ending. But this new one, don't forget, we're not a permanent commission.
But it's been 3 years.
Yeah, so our work is actually, we're actually over time. Over time, we should have ended in 1 year, but it then turned out that the usual logistical delays, a lot of donors bringing their money late, so the then President Jonathan extended our tenure. So really, as far as I'm concerned,